Hello and welcome to MBC News. I am Romeo Omari. Let's take a look at what's making headlines. Government to roll out massive staff transfers across councils. The Chief Resident Magistrate Court in Lilongwe adjourns to the 24th of April a case involving former Immigration Director General Brigadier General Charles Galumo, retired. The Reserve Bank of Malawi launches a new national payment system strategy aimed at accelerating the country's shift towards a digital economy. In our first story, government says it will begin mass staff transfers across all 36 local councils starting next week as part of reforms to improve efficiency and accountability. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Ben Piri, told MBC that the move follows concerns over prolonged acting positions, which affects staff morale, among others. George Nkandawire speaks to Piri.
We have had a lot of our members of staff on acting positions, and that was demotivating them in a way. But it pleased His Excellency the President, Professor Peter Mutharika, to authorize us to employ people on permanent positions under promotions. And as you're well aware that others may fail the interviews, to leave them on the same positions and bring a different person altogether may not help matters. That's number one. Number two is that we are now in the new dawn of leadership of Nkululeko Moyo II, which is leaving no stone unturned. As a result, the whole setup within the local government system is being shaken now. If you were from Cholo, you go somewhere else. And as they go, they've got a parting message. If you go and do corruption in Zimba, if you go and mismanage whatever it is in our District A, you will not be transferred to any other district. It will be completely audit and dismissals. Number three is to make sure that we align to the new vision of the President in a new setup that we have set. So the massive transfers are coming, and they will come to all the 34, 36 councils, and it begins from next week.
Expectations are high that councils and city mayors will be executing their mandates effectively following the government's decision to adjust upwards monthly honoraria with effect from 1 April. One of the governance commentators, Caesar Wondoe, has since challenged the councils to show value for money by implementing and monitoring developments in their wards. Jisomo Breg reports.
Starting from this month end, councillors will be smiling all the way to the banks to withdraw their honoraria following the government's timely decision to adjust upward their monthly honoraria. According to a statement from the Minister of Local Government, city mayors' honoraria has been pegged at 550,000 kwacha per month, up from 300,000 kwacha, while deputy mayors will be cutting home 450,000 kwacha. The statement further indicated that city councillors will be taking home 400,000 kwacha. Mayors from municipalities will be getting 450,000 kwacha, while their deputies and councillors will be getting 400,000 kwacha. At district and town council level, chairperson's honoraria has been hiked from 200,000 kwacha to 450,000 kwacha, while vice chairpersons and councillors' honorarium is now pegged at 400,000 kwacha. Commenting on the decision, a governance commentator, Caesar Kondowe, said the development should enhance monitoring of development and performance level of councillors.
In the first place, I would like to commend government through the Minister of Local Government for making this milestone historic adjustment of honorarium of the councillor, both the councillor and the chairperson of the councils. This is very, very important. As you are aware that previously it has taken quite a long time without making an adjustment. Secondly, this adjustment of 100% is quite commendable because the gap, the difference between what they are getting and what members of parliament are getting is quite very huge, which at times is one thing that is contributing to some disagreement in councils when it comes to developmental issues. It's very important that the government has decided to do this to make sure that their welfare is taken care of, as well as they should be committed to national development in their various awards.
In his reaction, one of the councillors, Philip Lichowa Kameta, who represents Chilomoni Ward in Blantyre, commended the government decision, noting that this will motivate them to serve their wards effectively.
Leo ngati councillor mmodzi wa mzinda wa Blantyre ndikuthokoza kwambiri chifukwa cha program imeneyi.
As one of the councillors, I'm very grateful for what government has done to us. For a long time, councillors have been complaining about honoraria. It was not enough considering the work that councillors do in our areas. Now we are happy following this revision of our honoraria.
The adjustment of councillors' honoraria comes at a time when the government of President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has increased the Constituency Development Fund CDF from 400 million kwacha to 5 billion kwacha per constituency. Motivated councillors, increased CDF give confidence that the DPP administration is poised to develop the country. Chisomo Break, MBC News, Blantyre.
In a bid to empower local youth with digital skills and income-generating opportunities, a Denmark national, Bjorn Vido, is training youth in Cape Maclear, Mangochi, on how to leverage the online marketplace. The initiative, which is a part of Cape Maclear We Do project focusing on climate change awareness, has seen some youth making at least $30 a day. Dave Umar reports.
The initiative, led by the We Do Cape Maclear Climate Change Group, is training over 40 young people computer knowledge aimed at equipping them with skills to earn income online with practical skills in graphic design, music production, freelance, and other digital-related skills. Lead facilitator of the project, Bjorn Vido from Denmark, who is also passionate about music, said the program seeks to help young people become self-reliant by tapping into opportunities available on the internet.
People are taking the knowledge very well. They are super curious, they are very fast. We have 10 orders now that we have done, and we have another music production from Denmark, Sweden, Norway on Monday, where some of the young artists will do African voices and stuff like that. And they are actually really well paid, so they get like $30 for a 2-3 hour session, so it's super profitable. So people love it, and they say, we had no idea we could make money online like this.
Vido was quick to say while many sectors are passionate about boosting Cape Maclear in tourism, there is also need to equip locals with knowledge on how they can sustain themselves.
One of the things that happens in this place where there's 2,000 to 3,000 people, depending on how you count it, is that the knowledge stays here. So it's not like it's not like Lilongwe where things will be all over the place. The knowledge that you put into the city is actually staying here and will spread. We have 50 students, we have 40 laptops, and we have divided them into 8 different groups. So we have sales, we have video, we have music, we have dance, we have all kind of different activities. And it's working really well, and people are really respectful to each other. They are very good at listening to each other. They have a high learning curve. Of course, it's difficult, but it's beautiful.
One of the learners, Promise Ndawala, hailed the initiative and said it started with so many doubts.
We are making a fortune. As you know, many youth are involved in tour guide activities. But now, tourism here in Cape Maclear is not as vibrant as it was before. So this initiative brings a new perspective where the youth are able to make money on a daily basis. By the end of the day,
the Cape Maclear We Do group is championing climate change awareness in Cape Maclear while also providing alternative sources of energy like solar power. For instance, the school runs on solar energy enough to power 10 houses. Dave Umar, MBC News, Mangochi.
The Chief Resident Magistrate Court in Lilongwe has adjourned to the 24th of April a case involving former Immigration Director General, Brigadier General Charles Galumo, retired, who is being accused of abuse of office over the alleged issuance of a Malawian diplomatic passport to Nigerian businessman Doze Mobosi. A lawyer representing the accused, Crispin Ndalama, presented the 9 preliminary objections in court. The state said they need ample time to respond, arguing that they were served with the preliminary objections late, hence the adjournment. Ndalama explains.
We were advising the court that we had made initial applications to say that this case should not have been in court in the first place. And now the police want to change the charge sheet without those issues being addressed. And again, on the new charge sheet that they want to introduce, they are introducing an offence under the Corrupt Practices Act, and we are advising the court that no, there's a special entity that is supposed to do with the corrupt issues, which is the Anti-Corruption Bureau, and the police has no business in usurping those powers. The other issue was to do with what we are calling functional immunity. The documents that they have shared, the state includes a memo that was written by Dr. Bagiri Munozi to the then sitting president, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, discussing this issue of issuance of a passport. Now we are stating that if the president is immune to his official actions, what is the effect in terms of this issue? So it's a legal argument that we are presenting. We presented this, but the state said it needs time to respond. So they have been given time to respond. I think we are going to come back on 24th of April.
Disability rights organizations have called for concerted efforts aimed at increasing the number of people with disabilities who pursue their tertiary education. The remarks were made following the release of this year's university selection, which has seen only 73 people with disabilities being selected to public universities. Charles Pensulo reports.
On Thursday last week, the Minister of Education, through the National Council for Higher Education, INCHE, released university selection results for the 2026 academic year. According to INCHE, out of the 32,527 applicants, 20,682 were selected to public universities in the country. Among those selected, only 73 out of the 154 who applied are people with disabilities. According to reports, this is a drop from last year's 95 people with disabilities who were selected to various public universities. While expressing worry over the development, some disability rights organizations say there is more that needs to be done to make sure that inclusivity is attained. Simon Munde is Chief Executive Officer for Federation of Disability Organizations in Malawi, FEDOMA.
73 is actually forming a very small percentage, less than 1%, far much less. And this is not encouraging. Students with disabilities are concerned. The retention rate is quite low. And these are issues that we need to be looking into as the nation of Malawi. Looking into what are the barriers that are there? How can we eliminate these particular barriers?
Meanwhile, Vice Chairperson for the Board of Malawi Council for Disability Affairs, Makoda, Vincent Rangel, has called on parents and guardians as well as people with disabilities to show interest in education. However, Rangel said there is need to consider revising the country's Disability Act so that it provides a more conducive environment to the people with disabilities.
We need to amend the INCHE Act. We need to amend the INCHE Act so that it should go hand in hand with the Disability Act number 4 of 2024, whereby you are going to find out that the right to education for people with disabilities should be enforced. Nche should abide to that act because this is the principal act. So we need the alignment of that act.
Out of the total number of 20,682 selected to the country's 6 public universities and 2 colleges this year, 58% are males, while 42% are females. The development comes as government is geared to making Malawi's education more inclusive so that the country realizes its development aspirations. Charles Pensulo, MBC News, Blantyre.
This is MBC News, a reminder of our top stories. Government to roll out massive staff transfers across councils. The Chief Resident Magistrate Court in Lilongwe adjourns to the 24th of April, a case involving former Immigration Director General, Brigadier General Charles Sigaluma, retired. The Reserve Bank of Malawi launches a new national payment system strategy aimed at accelerating the country's shift towards a digital economy. Moving on, the Minister of Information and Communications Technology, Shadrack Namalomba, has reiterated the government's commitment to ensuring that at least 80% of the population has access to internet services by 2030. Namalomba made the remarks in Lilongwe at the close of a high-level engagement with key players in the digital and telecommunications sector focused on transforming the country's digital landscape. He said closing the digital usage gap remains central to unlocking opportunities across sectors and stimulating economic growth. More in this report by Jinsi Simoyo.
As part of efforts to accelerate digital development, the minister engaged a range of stakeholders within the sector. They included officials from the International Telecommunication Union, led by the Southern Africa Area Representative Halimo Letamo. Discussions reviewed progress on key initiatives being implemented with the Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority, including broadband mapping and child online protection in collaboration with UNICEF. Namalomba also held talks with Global System for Mobile Communications Association Senior Africa Policy Manager Linus Mary. The engagements centered on advancing digital transformation in sectors such as agriculture, alongside improving access to affordable smartphones. He further met StarSat officials led by Chief Executive Officer Yang Shen. The company is implementing the second phase of a government-backed project delivering satellite television services to villages nationwide. The minister described the series of engagements as critical to advancing Malawi's digital agenda.
Our vision, our desire has been 80% of the people, 8 out of 10 people in Malawi by 2030 should have access to connectivity. As we speak now, the figures are around 30%, 40%. So the meeting today was very, very critical, and it's given us a leverage now to begin to actualize the directive and the vision of His Excellency Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika.
Later, the minister toured the Access to Satellite TV project in the area of Traditional Authority Kalumba in Lilongwe, implemented with support from the government of China. He noted that the initiative has expanded access to information in rural communities.
It is a good project. It's something that in the ministry we are saying that we should go back to the Chinese government to ask for more, to ask for third phase. From here now, we should also be looking at local resources within government, within the ministry, to upscale this kind of project.
The visit comes ahead of the project's official handover to the Malawi government. Through the initiative, about 700 villages across the country now access free digital satellite television in public spaces and households. Chinsisi Moyo, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Department of Animal Health and Livestock Development says it has intensified efforts to contain the spread of lumpy skin disease, which has affected some parts of Mzimba district. Speaking to NBC, the director of the department, Julius Julu, said currently 515 cattle have already been affected, while more than 2,000 others are at risk of contracting the disease. Julu said the department has since restricted the movement of cattle from Bulala Extension Planning Area, EPA, in Mzimba South, and it has already rolled out a vaccination campaign to prevent the further spread of the disease. Our reporter George Banda speaks to Julu.
That's very true. The report came out on 13th of April that there is lumpy skin disease in Mzimba district. Samples were collected to the lab. We are working on them, but it is indeed lumpy skin disease.
What are the symptoms of this disease?
The name of the disease gives it away. It is called lumpy, coming from lumps. Lumps that look like nodules on the skin around the neck and the back and the head. So the root of infection causes the symptoms to appear because it is transmitted by biting flies, ticks, or mosquitoes.
Does it affect other livestock?
No, this one is lucky enough for us. It affects cattle and then I think a few wild ruminants in the same family like cattle. But for domestic animals, it is a disease of cattle and the buffaloes.
Now, as authorities, what are you doing to contain the spread of the disease?
The first thing that we did was sensitize the communities around, and we have also put in travel restrictions. Animals from the infected area are not allowed to move to the clean area, and animals from the clean area affected APA. We have restricted movement of animals. People, we have held meetings to let people aware so that when they see this type of symptoms, they can quickly report to the nearest veterinary office so that further biosecurity actions can be taken to make sure it is contained. My message is to make sure that they should know where the animals are grazing. They shouldn't mix their animals with animals of unknown source. Just be on the lookout and a quick report, we can intervene. Viral diseases don't have medicine, but we treat what we call.
Government, in partnership with CRECOM, has expressed dissatisfaction with the progress of the social cash transfer program in Mzimba district, saying many beneficiaries are becoming self-reliant. This follows an inspection of various individuals and groups under the initiative where notable improvements have been recorded. CRECOM Projects Officer from Mzimba North, Chikumbutso Chikuni, says that the program is currently supporting over 220 groups engaged in business and other income-generating activities. Hassan Piri reports.
At Ekwaiweni, under traditional authority Ntwalo in Mzimba, one of the beneficiaries, Musa Honde, said the program has helped him to invest in livestock, improving his household income and overall livelihood.
I received 100,000 kwacha, which I added to the 150,000 to buy dairy cow. That will help me and my entire family.
Similarly, Wezi Nyirongo from Endongoleni said joining a village savings and loans group established under the initiative has boosted her financial independence. She further said in their first year of operation, the group shared over 9 million kwacha among its members.
We started a small-scale business, and at the same time, we were contributing to the shares of the group. By the end of the year, we had 9,600,000 kwacha.
While at Mcizini, another social cash transfer-oriented village bank group is also recording success. The group generated over 3.4 million kwacha last year through farming and small-scale businesses.
I received 96,000 kwacha, which I invested in Laba's business. I sold the Labas in South Africa, which gave me the returns of up to 350,000 kwacha.
CRECOM Projects Officer from Mzimba, Chikumbutso Chikuni, said beneficiaries are now experiencing positive change due to integration of business management skills into the social cash transfer program.
This project aims at enhancing the capacity of women, especially the most vulnerable women in Malawi. So we are looking at the social cash transfer beneficiaries. So as we know, we have got women and their young girls who are within that category of the vulnerable category. So we are trying our best to make sure that this category are able to earn a living, are able to support themselves.
The Malawi government says the program goes beyond financial support by equipping beneficiaries with practical skills to ensure sustainability even after graduating from the initiative. Hassan Piri, MBC, Nzimba.
The Reserve Bank of Malawi has launched a new national payment systems strategy aimed at accelerating the country's shift towards a digital economy. While progress has been made in expanding financial access, authorities say key challenges still need to be addressed. McDonald Joayula reports.
Steadily transitioning from a cash-based economy to a digital financial system, with the Reserve Bank of Malawi unveiling a roadmap to guide the sector from 2026 to 2030. Deputy Governor, Operations at the Reserve Bank of Malawi, Kisu Simwaka, said the strategy builds on gains made over the past decade, during which access to financial services has significantly improved.
We can all testify that we are now talking about several ways of trying to transact. Previously, it was all about cash. It means whenever you want to spend, whenever you want to receive, there must be physical cash. But now we are talking of Airtel money, Mpamba. We are talking of ability to pay even for the bills using your card. All that is because of the transformation that has taken place. But we have also noted that over the years, we've seen that financial inclusion, in terms of people who are able to access financial services, it has doubled. It used to be around about 45% of the adult Malawians were able to access financial services 10 years ago. But as we speak now, 2023, the figure was at 88%. So it means that we are going towards 100%. That is significant progress. So yeah, there are a number of achievements that we have made.
Mobile money operators say they continue to play a major role in driving financial inclusion across the country. General Manager of TNM Mpamba, Christopher Sugasuga, said there is need for more resources to invest in infrastructure if the services have to expand into rural areas.
As you might have heard from the Deputy Governor's speech, Malawi as a country has achieved 88% financial inclusion countrywide. But then of that 88%, 69% of it is coming from mobile money payments. So achieving 69% of financial inclusion in Malawi is not a small feat. It is a very big achievement. Issue of cost has been discussed in many forums, and it's an issue that we are looking at. But one thing you need to know is, you see, for us to take the services to the most rural areas of the country requires a bit of investment and also lots of costs. So it's an issue that we are discussing with the regulator, and we believe that at the end of the day we are going to find a lasting solution on this one.
And the representative of Digital Financial Services Association, William Kaunda, said the new strategy provides clear direction for the sector.
The example that was given, that in some spaces in the country or in some districts in the country, availability of network is affecting the adoption of digital financial services, is correct. And therefore, if a player that is not within the ambit of the Reserve Bank is not coming to the party, we would want that collaboration to happen so that we can still forge ahead. What we want is by 2030 as an association we should be saying 99% of the people have been included.
Authorities say stronger collaboration among regulators, telecom companies and other stakeholders will be key to achieving near universal financial inclusion by 2030. McDonald Chwaira, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Well, that item also concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. Government to roll out massive staff transfers across councils. The Chief Resident Magistrate Court in Lilongwe adjourns to the 24th of April, a case involving former Immigration Director General, Brigadier General Charles Sigaluma, retired. The Reserve Bank of Malawi launches a new national payment system strategy aimed at accelerating the country's shift towards a digital economy. Keep up to date with our news coverage on our digital pages by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You've been with me, Romeo Omari. Thanks for watching and good morning.
And welcome. It's time for weather update. Expect windy and generally cloudy conditions over the southern and central parts of our country. We are also expecting isolated rains and thunderstorms to persist mainly over some lakeshore areas. This is all due to the influence of easterly air mass from the Indian Ocean into our country. Therefore, this morning, expect cool to warm conditions over our country, whereby Lilongwe and Blantyre are expected to reach a minimum temperature of about